Look out, Oroville, all this water's coming to you. $50,000 CFMs. That's the emergency spillway. It's going stronger than it has been. Here comes a big boulder down the hill. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's kind of swallowed in the water. That's crazy. It looks to me like there's a lot of flow coming out of there. Yesterday they were worried about that tower collapsing over there because of the water over here. But the water changed course and moved again, so I guess they're good. That's the spillway. It looks like it's still going strong. Looks like they might have let more out since yesterday. But you can see all that mist up there. It shouldn't be there. There's something up there breaking up the concrete and the water and the rocks and stuff that's going down the stream. So, I hope you guys can see this okay. It's kind of tough. It's in a bad spot here. I'm trying. You want to give us an idea of what's going on?
Yeah, I engineered some of this, but it's just like, it's one thing to see it on paper, but to see it actually happen, it's freaking cool,
yeah.
You know?
You say you engineered some of this?
Yeah.
Which part of it?
What they're doing right now.
Is that right?
All the bulk bags, yeah, they're picking up those rocks and dropping them.
Yeah. How's that going?
Pretty good, actually.
Is
pretty
it?
good.
Awesome.
Yeah. I'm not sure, I haven't heard, you know, the news is so inundating, so I'm not sure if the travel ban or the evacuations lifted. Or
No, it's not lifted yet.
Okay. But you guys are above like Croyle Ridge?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so you guys are
same
safe.
level as the dam.
Okay. Yeah, we're up in Chico, and I tell you what, overnight it just doubled in size.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know all the people out of their
So
houses.
heartbreaking though.
Do you guys have any updates for us right now? Anything you could tell us?
Stay the hell out of Oroville.
Yeah, stay the hell out of Oroville.
In Northern California tonight, the evacuation order has been lifted for nearly 200,000 people who live below the Oroville Dam. A damaged spillway is no longer in danger of collapse, but more rain is on the way and the homecoming could be brief. John Blackstone is there.
Scott, the huge release of water from the Oroville Dam has helped make the dam safe enough that residents are now being allowed to return. But even as the evacuation order was lifted, urgent work continued on the damaged spillway, racing as quickly as heavy equipment could race, pouring boulders into gaping holes to prevent a catastrophe. Officials are confident those aggressive efforts will prevent a failure at the dam. But just 48 hours ago, disaster appeared imminent. With so much water pouring over the emergency spillway, it was eroding the hillside. The first test of these fixes could come as early as tomorrow, when the beginning of a series of storms hits this area. John Blackstone, CBS News, Oroville, California.
So the governor says, come home. The engineer says, stay the hell away from Oroville. I think I'd listen to the engineer. What you're looking at here is you're looking at if the dam breaks, how long will it take for the water to get to you? As you can see, within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, the water obviously would move extremely fast. There would be no way for evacuation. As you notice here, they only gave a 1-hour notice to evacuate before. See, it says they tweeted this, right, and put it on Facebook, and they said that the dam was expected to give way. The auxiliary spillway at the Oroville Dam was anticipated to fail within the next 60 minutes. The failure of the auxiliary spillway would send a approximately 30-foot wall of water down through the valley, and they gave a 60-minute notice. They said it's going to happen in an hour. So is this how they're going to handle it next time? Well, this is how they handled it this time. You have an hour's notice, you're going to die, or you're going to drown. Now I want to show you a couple of very curious things. This is Lake Oroville, the same place that's now running over the top. October 23rd of 2015, it was completely empty, or very near completely empty. So empty that you couldn't even have boats in the reservoir. So approximately 2 years later, we're here. Now take a look at this chart. This chart shows you from approximately October of last year until today. Okay, you can see the little yellow line at the bottom is approximately today's date. And of course, they are at the peak of how much water is in that dam, or very close to the peak. You know, of course, there's been a ton pouring over today, but we have 3 inches of rain predicted for the next 24 hours for this area. Okay, now you see the style of this chart. Look at the way it almost runs straight up, right? Let me show you the chart, the historical charts going back for decades and decades, and see how this year compares. See if you see anything out of the norm that would tell you that something's going on different, strange, manipulated maybe. Take a look at this chart. Okay, so remember the blue line that was running straight up, you can still see it there, and it's circled at the top with a little red dotted circle, okay, where the dam is now at 97% of capacity. You see how all the other previous year sets followed almost an exact pattern, a waveform, right? This is the only year in recorded history since this dam has been in place that we've had this type of an event. There's nothing that's even close to it. What that leads me to believe is that there's a hand at play. There is something out of normal nature's way at play. Kind of like the explosions going on was a hand at play in the quarry, right? Okay, so now take a look at this. So here we have the weather set up. Okay, of course over there the jet stream is basically laying directly on top of this part of the country, which is why they're going to have wet and wild weather. Okay, they are in for 3 inches of rain tomorrow. Now, is 3 inches of rain a lot? And as you can see, they're also going to be in for fairly warm temperatures. But is 3 inches of rain a lot? Is that like, you know, a little bit or a lot for this area? Well, according to these reports, that area from 1877 to 2016, a period of 139 years, the average for that period was 14.77 inches in a year. And it says that the numbers around the 2.61 to above up to 3.87 inches of rain in a period of several days is a record. Well, they're supposed to get 3 inches in one day, starting tonight around midnight or so. They're supposed to get 3 inches in one day. You're starting to see what's going to happen here. It's almost kind of like they're calling all the sheep and saying, if y'all guys, any of y'all guys that are dumbass, come on back in. Yeah, come on home. You know, come on home. If you're a dumbass, you know, you need to die. So come on and get back in front of this dam so we can drown your ass. Because there is no way this makes sense. And then when you take this into account as well, like the record snowmelt that they're calling for in central and northern California, they're putting out flood warnings due to the snowmelt. Oh boy.